so welcome along. Just waiting for everyone to join us. Thanks so much, everyone, for jumping on to our Zoom tonight. I think everyone is on now. I'm going to ask everyone to pop themselves on mute, but please feel free to come off mute and ask questions or pop little questions in the chat box. My name is Jess, and this is my very first virtual CE that virtual cooking class that I'm running. So thank you everyone for joining us. We've got a great meeting and class for you tonight with lots of awesome dishes. So just as we get started, I would like to, the consultants will introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves and where they're from. But if you can pop on the chat box where you're joining us from tonight, and what's one dish that you've cooked in the last couple of days in your Thermomix. And I'm going to pass you over to the lovely Julia, and she is going to get us started. All right. Can you unmute yourself, Julia?
Right, hi guys, I'm Julia. I'm from Tauranga. I'm a consultant in Tauranga. I've been a consultant since December last year. I'm going to cook with you the Mexican stick. It's good for up to 8 or so people to cook for. It's a delicious meal. It's meat free, but I know it's very versatile. I guess you could chuck some meat in it if you want. Yeah, so let's get started. What are we doing? Right, so we're going to preheat the oven to 180. I've already started doing that. Now it says to line a round casserole dish or a rimmed pizza tray. So I'm going to be lining my pizza tray, and this is off the Mix shop. It's an excellent tray for your pizzas and for this dish here. So I've got that lined. Now I'm going to be putting my cheese in. Just get that off.
Have you made this one before, Julia?
Yeah, I tested it out the other day with my kids and they loved it.
Did they notice there's no meat in it?
No.
Ah, bonus.
Can't really tell there's no meat. I suppose it's like the, I know it's with all that tomato stuff. It's like the bolognese, I guess. It's when you chuck all those veggies in, it's very disguised. It's one of those dishes.
Awesome.
Spring onions. And the parsley done. 2 garlic cloves. I've just got the crushed garlic here. Chuck about 3 teaspoons in that. I'll insert the lid. I'm going to turn it to speed 5 now.
So this is one of probably the best things about the Thermomix is the way that it can chop up the cheese for you, sorry. And it's so quick and easy.
Yeah, so it's just mixed all that up together. Now, we'll mix it up together, and now once we transfer that all into a bowl, let's quickly do that. So combine together, so it should be quite easy.
And in some of these recipes, they say you have to give the bowl a wash in between. Do you give it a wash in between, Julia?
Not with this recipe, no.
No. Keeps the extra flavour in and saves a few steps.
Yeah. Now it wants me to add the brown onion. Put that in. Chilies. I'm not going to add the chilies. My kids don't like any spice, so I'll leave that out. Some more garlic. Let's add some more. Gonna chop the onion up as well. Now we're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Grab all that onion, garlic. Now once we add some olive oil, tablespoon of olive oil, because we're going to saute that onion and garlic off.
And did you know that you can use the 3 little dots in the top part of your screen and measure that tablespoon in, Julia? I don't know if you've used that before, but you can actually jump on in the top of the right side of the screen. There's 3 little dots, and you can actually press that and go to scales, and then you can just weigh in your tablespoon, which is about 8 grams. So just a little tip there, saves having to wash a spoon. I know it may seem a little bit sort of silly, but actually I don't like washing things, so there's another little top tip.
Well, I didn't know that, so you know, so the scales are right there. No, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, and then you just cross out of them and you're good to go on with your recipe.
Yep, well, now it's done. So now we're going to place the simmering basket instead of the measuring cup. I'm going to simmer that away.
Awesome.
For 3
Cool,
minutes.
Thanks, Julia. We're going to zoom over to Taryn's kitchen now. I'm just going to find Taryn and highlight her wherever she's hiding. And tonight, Taryn, can you come off mute?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, I'm just going to keep trying to find you. Hiding in my little...
I'm off mute. That's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
there we go. Found you.
All right. Cool. Hi, I'm Taryn. I'm in Wellington, in Kapiti in Wellington, and I'm going to be making lasagna tonight. I've already pre-made the red sauce, I guess you call it, in the mince in here, and I'm lucky enough to have 2 bowls, which is really handy. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make the white sauce in my cream bowl. So here we go. Oh, and I've also, like Julia, grated up the cheese all ready to go, which is really awesome. So I've got some Parmesan, but I also just put extra cheese because my kids love cheese. I've just put some cheddar cheese in there too. Awesome. So we're just skipping through the recipe now to make the white sauce, or I can't pronounce it very well, but it's bechamel, is it? So you can make it. Oh, terribly wrong. Anyway, so you can make it following the recipe in the lasagna bolognese, but otherwise the Thermomix also has a setting for thickening mode, and it's great. You just chuck all the ingredients in and press go, and you can just walk away and it'll cook itself, and it's really amazing. Before having the Thermomix, I'd never even really made white sauce before or lasagna, and I made it the other day as practice, and I was so impressed with how easy it was. So anyway, here we go. So just show you my Thermomix there. So we're adding a litre of milk.
Does it specify what
you could just buy a litre milk thing?
Do you think you could make
I think in the recipe it might have said whole milk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about giving it a go with coconut milk, or like oat milk or something could be good. 800 grams of butter. Oh, it's not 800, 80 grams of butter.
And Lee's also just saying in the chat group, you can also use milk powder and water just for saving some more money. So that's a top tip. Yeah. Thanks, Lee.
Okay, so it's the butter. Then 90 grams of flour.
And what else would you use a white sauce for? I made one the other night and I just used it and steamed some veggies and had it with steamed veggies. It's fantastic. Or Lee's saying fish pie.
Then we need a teaspoon of salt. Okay. 1 to 2 pinches of ground nutmeg. You can take it in the bus.
Pepperoni cheese, Ingrid is saying that she uses her white sauce for, which is fantastic. And you can flavour your white sauce as you like. So, Taryn, yeah, so you've put some nutmeg in, but you don't have to if you're not a big fan of nutmeg. You can put a bit of chili powder.
So now I've just added the simmering basket. Press next. And it just cooks itself in the next 10 minutes and it turns out perfect.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Taryn. We'll come back to you when you start assembling your lasagna.
Cool.
Lovely. All righty. So now we're going to zoom over to Kathy's kitchen and just going to remove spotlight from Taryn and wherever Kathy has gone, there she goes. Lovely. Okay, go for it, Kathy. Thank you.
Kia ora everybody, I'm Kathy. I'm a consultant down in Papamoa, Tauranga, and I've been a consultant for almost a year to the day, which is exciting.
Congratulations. Anniversary.
Yeah, almost. A couple of days shy, that's cool. And today I'm actually making something I haven't made before, which is a berry cordial, which has actually only got about 4 ingredients, which is pretty cool. So we're going to start by adding some berries. Now it does say you can use fresh berries or frozen berries. Gives you an example of, you know, raspberries or blueberries. I've got just a random medley of berries. I think there's strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries in there. So we've got about 130 grams of that. And we're going to be adding 300 grams of water as well. I'll just pop that in here. And now we're going to put the lid on. And we're going to mix that for 20 seconds on speed 4.
Brilliant. So, Kathy, what other fruits do you think you could use for this? I don't know if you can hear me. What other fruit do you think you could use? Yeah.
Sorry, it was a little bit hard to hear you there. It was quite noisy with the frozen fruit.
What other fruits would you use for the cordial, do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. You could use anything really. Any kind. It does say berries because it's a berry cordial, but if you grew them yourself, that would make it even cheaper as well, where you could just grow them and use them that way. So it's kind of mixed it all up. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of a bit liquidy and a bit chunky.
Oh.
And now it says to keep the lid and the measuring cup in, and we're going to cook it for 5 minutes on speed 2 at 90 degrees. So it's just going to cook away now. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Kathy. We'll come back to you shortly. We're going to whiz back over to Julia's kitchen now. Jump onto here. Can you unmute yourself, Julia?
From the sound of flooding.
Oh, there's some lovely singing in the background.
Sorry about that.
We're being serenaded.
Sorry, my son's about to go to sleep. I just had a bit of a fall.
Oh, no.
Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so that's all sauteed off. Yeah, we're on to adding the capsicum. So I've got a bit of a red and yellow going on in here. Zucchini. Now, I didn't have fresh zucchini, so I've actually got frozen, but I'm sure it should be fine.
Awesome. I love how a lot of these recipes you can mix with the frozen veggies as well. Saves time and sometimes a bit of money.
Some corn kernels. 100 grams of those in there. Insert the measuring cup into the bowl. And I'll mix that up. Cup it up, guys. That's done. Oh, I don't know, it's very chopped up.
How does it look, Julia? Give us a little look at how much it's chopped up.
Yes,
Quite awesome.
Hear it up there.
Brilliant. So quick and easy.
Yeah, especially that zucchini. It's very... So I didn't have kidney beans. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I've got some black beans here.
Awesome.
Beans are beans.
Yep.
Film those a rinse. 70 grams of tomato paste. Now I've got the good old essential tomato paste. As Lee knows, it's the cheapest tomato paste, but it's very good as well. Goes so far, pizzas, etc.
Where do you get that one from, Julia?
I got this from Fresh Choice. So Fresh Choice Countdown.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That's a top
Huge.
tip.
Yeah. 500 grams. I think it's $2.70.
Oh, that is good. Oh, $2.50 a jar, Lee's saying. That's a great price.
$2.70 at Fresh Choice.
Brilliant.
Move on. 400 grams of canned tomatoes. Put that in
I don't know if anyone else does this with their shopping, but I'm a serial canned tomato buyer. Whenever I see them on special, I feel the need to buy tin tomatoes, and so I usually have about 12 tins in my cupboard at any one time, just in case.
All right, now since we're saving time here, I've actually added all the herbs and sugar and salt and pepper into one thing. So it's 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, the coriander, paprika, raw sugar, salt, and pepper. It's all in here. So I'll just put that all in there.
Beautiful.
So now I'm placing the simmering basket back on top here, which is right here. Now that's going to simmer away for 15 minutes. There we
Brilliant.
go.
Awesome. Thanks, Julia. All right, we'll whiz over now and find the lovely Darsha. Darsha, I want to try and bring up all of your screens.
Fine for you to take time. Yes, no problem. I'm Darsha. Welcome to my kitchen here in Kelburn. As Jess has said, I'm very blessed to have a husband who is a camera operator, and so he sets up the cameras so you can look at what it looks like inside the bowl and what it looks like on the front of the screen. So what a blessing he is. Not just to me tonight, but to you as well. I laughed, Jess, when you said about the cans of tomatoes. We've started buying them in boxes of 24. one of the things I absolutely love about the Thermomix is you cooking everything from scratch. And so I find I use a whole lot more spices, a whole lot more of raw ingredients, and you know exactly what it is that you are giving to the people in your household, which brings me to why this particular class is a passion for me. I'm a mum of 4 children, and so cooking for a large family is basically our every night. So I'm going to start cooking here. 3 of them are teenage boys. So if you're wondering if you can get enough food in a Thermomix to feed 4 hungry teenagers, the answer is yes. I'm adding in my lemon zest, no white pig. I'm going to pop it in, insert the measuring cup, and chop it for 10 seconds. I love a good cocktail, and the ability to chop so finely like this in a couple of seconds, especially with all those different piths, means it's really, really easy for you to chop that up so finely. So you can see how amazing is that just in 10 seconds. I'm going to scrape down the side of the bowl, as we've already said. The Thermomix will tell you whether you need to scrape it down, rinse it out, all those real basics, which means that if you've got children and that large family that you're cooking for, then you're able to get them to do it as well, because it's so simple with guided cooking that they can follow along with you. So I'm just going to do another 10 seconds.
So Dasha, have you made this one before? I don't know if you can hear me.
Sorry, Jess, what was that?
Have you made this recipe before?
I have made this recipe multiple times. And when I started putting out the ingredients tonight, everyone in the household was like, and I was just going to say, when I bought the feta today, goodness me, it was $6.20. And so I just want to say, having made this plenty of times, it's actually delicious with sour cream as well. You could just do this first piece with the lemon rind and then just add in some sour cream. So definitely don't feel, or maybe even some yogurt. I haven't tried that, but definitely don't feel as if, you know, you have to be bound by expensive recipes. I'm adding in now 20 grams of lemon juice and some 60 grams of extra virgin olive oil, and you'll see that the machine is so incredible. It's counting in 1 gram amounts. I'm using my favourite new mix shop accessory, and this is thanks to the lovely Jess, who put me onto this amazing spice cabinet. So I've got my salt and pepper in there, and I'm going to just whiz that all together. 30 seconds on speed forward.
I love that, Dasha. That's still one of my most favourite things. Has anyone else got one of those little I don't know what you call them, a salt pig, I think is the old sort of name for them, but yeah, they're so easy just to have beside you, and your salt doesn't get all hard and dry, which is quite nice. Okay, so Dasha, what would you serve with this meal?
What we serve it, well, you can serve it with plenty of things. We've had it with couscous, with rice, with bread for dunking. We've even done kind of like taco-y shells. You could do, tonight we made this amazing Piccadilly chicken, which you serve in tortilla cups, and that you baked in the oven in sort of little muffin tins. And so you could even do that. This would be absolutely delicious in those, with a little bit of you know, that nice lemon feta, or even some salad and things like that. It's so good.
That sounds good. Oh, so they're called a seasoning box, Dasha. Diane's got the wording, and Lee's already put it in the chat box where people can buy it. It's always a benefit. And
you can see here, look at this beautiful whipped feta.
Oh, that's stunning.
Another wee scrape. And then, oh, the smell of it is so good. One of the things, like, I made this beautiful eggplant stack last night. And again, you ground the lemon rind in with the parmesan, and my goodness, the flavour is amazing. So that's another 50 seconds at speed 4 for me. So
cool. All right, we're going to
back to you, Jess.
Yes, thanks, Dasha. We're going to whip over to Lee's kitchen now. And I'm just going to find the lovely Lee on my little view. Lee, can you holler out at me, please? Where have you gone? You are right there.
You want me to
She's
help?
hiding. There she is. I found her.
You got me?
I think so. Yep, got you. I'm just going to.
I'm over here on my phone, and I'm also on the laptop. So yeah, hopefully you found me where you need me.
Thanks.
On the spotlight.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome to my kitchen. It's fabulous to have you here, either live or on the replay. If you're watching this back and couldn't get on with us this evening, it's great. I hope that you leave tonight with a few tips and some inspiration and ideas around cooking for bigger families. We are a family of 5, and you know, I've got 2 hungry teenagers, and you know, a 6'4" Samoan husband who also has a big appetite, and I'm no shrinking violet, so having a big meal is really important to our family. And so this one tonight is a sticky sesame chicken, and it's one that's on regular rotation in our home. I love it because it's quick, it's reasonably priced as well, so I'm going to get into it. I put it into my week. So who's using the weekly plan? Who's planning out their meals? Hands up, pop it in the chat box if you are, or if you're not. If you're not planning out your meals, I'm curious to know what stops you. Why don't you plan it out? Because if you are catering for a lot of people, being a little bit organized with your time would certainly help with the cost of food, but also that, you know, 5 o'clock. I hope you have a good time. So top tip there. Pop it in to cook today, and it's going to come up as a guided recipe. Now, I have already done a few steps ahead of time just to make it nice and quick for you this evening as well. Clicking into the start cooking, I've preheated my oven to 200 degrees because we're actually going to be coating the chicken in this beautiful corn flour and spice mix. Goes into the oven, and then we're going to carry on and do the sauce and cook the rice and vegetables in our Thermomix. So I've got some oil there, and I've got my chicken already weighed out. And I've got the new.
I've just lost you for a minute. You keep chatting. I'm just trying to find you to put you on the. Can people see Lee now? I can see Lee. No.
I think it's still on Dasha.
Ah. Oh no. Sorry, everybody. One moment.
And me too. There you go. I've just found me. I can replace the spotlight.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. Can you see me now?
I could see you before. Can everyone else see Lee? Yay, yep, people are waving. Thank you. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Colleen.
In here, and I pre-weighed that, and these are in our new mixing bowl set. I absolutely love them because when I'm prepping ahead of time, the really neat thing about these lids is that they have these bowls, and they have a lid as well, so you can put things in and they stack into each other beautifully in the cupboard. So that's the medium size. I've got my chicken already weighed into there, and then I'm going to carry on and set that aside. Got my bowl here and putting in my rice. Really important anytime you're cooking rice in your simmering basket is to pre-rinse it. So lots and lots of cold water so that it gets nice and damp and you get all the starches off. That's going to stop you from getting gluggy rice. So if you've ever done the boiled rice recipe and it comes out a bit sticky, you may not have rinsed it well enough. So the rice is going to go in there. Got the water already and the lid going on. And the really cool thing about this is that we're going to be cooking the rice and using the water as it's cooking to steam our vegetables on top. So I've got my varoma dish. And the really cool thing about cooking for a crowd or for a big family is the varoma. You can jam pack lots of extra veggies in there. I've got a layer of carrots, and then I didn't have sugar snap peas, and they're not something I typically buy because they are a little bit more expensive. So I just got your regular old green bean, and I had some broccoli in the fridge, so I've thrown that in as well. What else would you throw into a sesame chicken dish? Any of the veggies?
Oh, see, it's asparagus season, Lee, so I'd be putting asparagus in everything. Oh,
yes, love asparagus. You can put some baby corn in there, peppers, anything that's really kind of floating around in the bottom of the veggie bin, I reckon, because it's got that sticky sauce. It'll just take the flavors on of that. So got all those veggies in there, secured my lid on nice and tight, and now it's just going to cook away for 15 minutes. So it's essentially hands-free. I'll just stop there. It's going to make a little bit of noise. Hands-free cooking, and just leave it to do its thing. So over to you, Jess.
Cool, thanks, Lee. Okay, we're going to whip back over to Dasha's kitchen now. I can see she's busy. I'm just going to remove the spotlight from Lee. Go to Dasha. That one.
Hello.
Oh, I've lost your video, Dasha.
Oh, okay, hang on. Or maybe I did that.
I think you might have. Just
Oh.
there you go. There's your lovely face. Back again.
Okay, look at all of you. Here I am again. And I'm now going to add in my 5 garlic cloves. If you leave, that's 25 garlic cloves. Going to add in my brown onion. So just tear that off. So that's just at the bottom, everything we weigh in. So I'm just going to put in that 100 grams, and a little bit more. It's a guide. Don't have to be too precious. 1/2 to 1 fresh chili, de-seeded if preferred. Again, you're making it your way, the way that your family likes it. Put in the measuring cup and then chop it for 3 seconds on speed 7.
How good is that chopping, Dasha? It's so great.
Absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to show you all, and the reality is, which one of us in 3 seconds could have done that? Nobody. I tell you how I can say that with authority, because we've actually had some Thermomix competitions to look at that exact thing. And you might laugh, but that's the kind of fun things that we do as consultants, actually. We challenge ourselves to try new and different things, and it's great. I mean, even like tonight with Jess trying a new way for her to present for us, and it's real team. Now, what I've done is just like Clever Julia, I've gone and put a pile of all these spices together. So what's in it? A bit of cumin, paprika, turmeric, cayenne pepper, ground cinnamon, ground coriander, and I'm just going to pop it in, and I'm going to put on my lid, and you'll see on my screen that it's the simmering basket on top, and that is to allow the steam to escape. I'm going to turn it on for 3 minutes at speed 1, and I'll hand back to you, Jess.
Cool. Just a quick question, Dasha. If you didn't like things like coriander, could you just exchange it for something else, or do you just leave it out altogether?
100%. And even if you had something like some Moroccan seasoning or taco seasoning, like again, this is a guide, and so it's really important to remember if there's things you love, you might want to put it extra. If there's things you don't like at all, leave them out. You know, it's just a guide, and one of the 3 different ways that you can use when you're cooking with your Thermomix manual, guided, or a whole pile of different functions.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for that, Dasha. All right, we're going to jump back over to Kathy's kitchen now. So I'm going to jump over to Kathy and replace spotlight.
Oh, so I just tipped out what was cooked, and it's just asked me to sieve it. I'm just doing the last little bits of putting it through the strainer, getting all the lovely juices out. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to put that liquid back into the Thermomix and add some sugar. Now, this is your choice on how much you'd like to do. If you'd like it full sweetness, you can. This is a cordial, so we will be, when you use it, it's going to be diluted down. So 1 part cordial, 3 parts water. But you can replace with a different type of sugar if you prefer, like any other sugar alternatives. There's obviously a range of sweeteners and stevia, and so you could change it to something like that too if you prefer. So I've strained that. So now this is going to pour our juice. So it says to weigh it in. So I'm weighing it back in. Look at that colour. So beautiful. So now it actually says to match the liquid with the amount of sugar. So mine is 355 mils, but I'm not actually going to do the full amount of sugar. So it says 350 to 400. So I'm going to put some in. I did have the whole amount weighed just in case I change my mind, but I think I will go a bit less. done just about 300 grams there, and now I'm popping the lid back on with the measuring cup, and that's just going to cook again at speed 2 for 6 minutes on 90 degrees again. There you go.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Kathy. Brilliant. All right. Now, in my little list, I've got to jump back over to the lovely Lee. So, are you good for timing, Lee? Oh, perfect. Here she comes.
Yes.
Right.
You found me?
I think so. Have I found Lee? Oh, yeah. I can see you. Can everyone else see Lee? No, one moment. I might still have got
You go to participants list at the bottom of the screen, and then the little more drop down, then you can go spotlight from the menu there.
Right.
That's right. You're doing a
Okay.
great
When you talk, Lee, it shows a different screen.
Yeah, because I'm on my laptop as well tonight. I'm just supporting Jess behind the scenes, so I can spotlight me there. There we go. You find me?
Oh no, now I've I just undid it. There we go.
I can see you. I can see you, Lee.
Yeah. Should be on the screen. I spotlighted me. All right,
Yeah.
so rice
you.
and my chicken is cooking away here. And what I'm going to do is actually go ahead into the preview. So if you're not aware, when you're cooking with a TM6, there is a little preview off to the right-hand side of the screen. So you can actually see the steps ahead as well. So you don't need to be in the cook and wait till you get to that step. You can be doing things in preparation. So I've just stepped ahead, and it's asking for a few things to do the beautiful coating on my chicken. So I've got here some corn flour, paprika, and a little bit of salt and black pepper. So that's going to go onto my chicken. So I'm going to put that in and give it a lovely coating there. Give it a little mix around. And that corn flour mixture is going to just give it a beautiful crust as it's starting to bake in the oven. And then obviously adding all those flavors and natural spices into it as well. If you weren't too keen on paprika, you could absolutely do other things. You could do taco seasoning, and rather than a sticky style Asian dish, you could make it more sort of Mexican based and do more of a tomato sauce instead of your sticky sauce. So yeah, get creative. Cookie dough, like Dasha was saying, is just a starting guide. Like, don't be afraid to use your cooking knowledge and give something new a go. So I've coated all the chicken there, got all those beautiful spices. That's going to go into my lined oven tray, and I'm going to put that into the oven, and we'll come back shortly. Once you want to come out of your preview mode, you actually don't need to go to the 3 dots and close it. If you just tap the little number, which is a little green icon on the top left-hand corner, that'll take you back to where you're at. And it's telling you I've got 7 minutes left of that cooking time to go. So back over to you, Jess.
Awesome. Thanks, Lee. And really great tips about being able to flavour things differently. That sometimes I think we get a little bit nervous, but you've got to just give it a go and have a bit of fun. All right, we're going to whiz back over to Julia's kitchen now and see how she's going. Alrighty.
Right, guys.
Now,
So
hold on,
that's
Julia. I don't think I've got you spotlighted. Maybe I do. Do I? Spotlight. There we go. Can everyone see Julia? Yep, perfect. Go for it.
right, guys. So that's all cooked off. Now we just have to add the rest of the sweet corn. I'm gonna mix that up quickly. Combine that. 5 seconds. Okay, now we're on to the layering. There. So here's the mixture. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
Oh, beautiful.
Done too much
How does
more.
it smell?
Very young. Chips in there. So now we're ready. So I've got got it all ready to start layering. So I gotta chuck in some stuff.
So did it say about how many layers that you'll get, Julia, from this?
So I'm gonna do about 5 layers, and then I'm gonna top it with the cheese to melt all over it.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 15 minutes. So here's my first layer all done. So I'll keep going.
Beautiful. Nice. Cool, cool. That's looking good.
I'll see you at the
Right.
end.
Lovely. All right. Okay, so we are going to jump over to Taryn. I'm not sure if she is ready for us yet. Just going to see if I can find Taryn. Yep, you're all good. Keep talking for me, Taryn, because you seem to drop by.
So we're ready to do some layering as well. It's time for lasagna.
Awesome.
You found me?
Yeah, so can you see Taryn?
Hello, hello, hello.
No, hold on one moment. Just having a little bit of technical difficulty here. Sorry, team.
That's all right.
So tell us what you're doing next, Taryn. What's next in your...
All right, so I've got a layer first. Oh, here I am. So you've got to put a layer down of the bolognese sauce first. So I've got my 2 jugs here, one with the bolognese sauce, one with the white sauce there. And I was going to make my own pasta, which I thought would be fun to do, but ran out of time, even though I'm sure it is easy. I've done it once before on the Thermomix. But anyway, I just brought some egg lasagna sheets today. So I've put a layer of bolognese sauce, and then you just put a layer of pasta. I'm making a really big one today. And then just looking at the recipe, so it's bolognese sauce next. Sorry, cover with another layer of bolognese sauce. Okay, no, yes. Okay, we're covering with another layer of bolognese sauce. And then you sprinkle on some parmesan. And then a layer of the white sauce, which turned out beautiful. And then you just keep layering like that. So I'll just keep doing that in the background now.
Awesome. Thanks, Taryn. That's fantastic. It looks delicious. Is there anything else apart from pasta that you'd ever use to make lasagna? I don't know if anyone else has done that. I've made them with using the old tortillas before. Just if I didn't have any lasagna sheets, you could do that. Some people might use veggies as well. Yep, Lee's saying homemade tortillas.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Alrighty, so I'm just going to have a little go at sharing my screen now. Maybe. Let's do one little thing. Here it is. And I thought I will introduce, excuse the clunkiness, everybody. Lots of learning here for me tonight. I've now lost my full view of the Zoom. Oh, there it is there. One moment. Okay, right. Share screen. And we're just gonna, so this is the price of the Thermomix at the moment. It's $2,699. If we've got any non-owners, there's lots of different ways that you can get a Thermomix on your bench. One of the best ways is definitely to earn it. So the other thing I'm going to show you a little bit of now is cookie dough. So I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with cookie dough. So I actually had a quick look to see if there's a recipe for feta, Dasha, to see if we could make it cheaper, because I saw a great cheese class the other night and that had how to make halloumi and lots of other things, which was great. But here is Cookie Do. For those of you who are not that familiar with it, this is our little recipe platform, and where we have all of our guided recipes are available here. What's fantastic is you've got your home screen, which you can scroll down, and there will be new features. So when they have new collections released, they will be showing here on this home screen. And then you can go down and have a look at little staples, because there's lots of work that they're doing around saving money and cost savings with the cost of food and how much it's going up. There's some really great opportunities there for you to make things for a fraction of the price. And you can also have a look at the recipes that you might select. These are ones that I've got bookmarked. As you can see, I have quite a few. When I scroll down here, you can either bookmark simple recipes, or you can download entire collections, which is fantastic. When you find a recipe that you'd like to cook for the week when you're meal planning, you simply click on the recipe and it will open up like this. It shows you some great things here. So it gives it a star rating, which is actually rated by the people who cook the meals. So we'd really encourage you, when you do some cooking, to rate the meals and the recipes as to how you found them. You can then also look at the difficulty, the preparation time, the total time, and the portion size. So here in this recipe, you can adjust the portions here. Now, I have actually made this recipe probably 500 times, I would just about say, because it's a firm favourite in our house. And I can see Diane nodding her head there. And I have actually increased it. I haven't quite doubled it, but almost, and it serves well in advance of 6 to 8 people. So this is an option that you can just change the size yourself. And you can learn how to do that through the Cookie Do classes that we run once a month as well. So one thing that you can do is you can add it to your week. So I just click there, and I'll just click on tomorrow and save that. And then what you'll start to see is your meal planning come in through here. So as you can see, I made a carrot cake for work today, and I finished off with the icing this morning. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to try this chicken Caesar pasta salad, which is always good. And then Wednesday, I've planned for a phyllo spinach slice. So nice and easy to do everything there with your meal planning. So it's a great way to do it. So what we're going to do now is I'll share in the chat box some of the timings for the Cookie Do classes, and also we've got Easy Essentials, which is a great class for new owners, and also for owners who need just a bit of inspo in the kitchen. I'd really recommend it. And I'm going to take us over. I'll stop sharing now. Stop sharing. There we go. And I'm going to take us back over to the lovely Diane's kitchen. There she is there. And I'll double click on you. Spotlight. Hi, Diane.
Could you come to me, Jess?
Sorry?
You come to me, because I've got to cook the sauce.
Oh, okay, quick. So Diane, we'll just quickly go to Lee and then we'll come over to you. Sorry, one moment.
Thank you so much.
There we go. You're there. You are.
Okay. Just thinking about the timing. So my rice and veggies are done, and I've just taken them out and put them into one of our big oval thermo servers, which are absolutely fabulous. Look at the colour of the veggies. It's kept those nutrients in, looking absolutely vibrant and delicious. And lots, you know, and I could have even done another layer with the aroma as well. More veggies. Got my rice here, so I've just lifted that out. I'm going to put that into another thermo server. If you haven't got a thermo server in your kitchen, reach out to your consultant, because the only way you can get those is through Host Rewards, and they're absolutely fabulous for things like this recipe. When you're cooking in bulk and you want to be keeping things nice and warm for up to 2, I'm getting a nice little rice facial here. Keep things nice and warm for up to 2 hours. Pop your rice in there. Look at it, beautiful and fluffy. There's never sticky, gluggy rice with that recipe. Pop the lid on and just keep those aside. And now I'm going to go into making the sauce for the chicken. So I'm just going to tip out that rice water there. Down the sink it goes. Back into the base. And I'm just going to click ahead because I've done the chicken and bacon. And I had to Google when Dasha said, you know, if your league is 500 cloves of garlic, measure with your heart. This is 3, I don't know, about 6 or 7 there. So, put my lid in the measuring cup. And then go next. 4-second shot, so super speedy. Gonna whiz those all up. Give it a little scrape down with my spatula. Ta-da! It wows me every time. I've had a Thermomix in my kitchen for 8 years and it still blows my mind that something as small as garlic cloves with those blades just gets chopped down beautifully. So give it a little scrape down to the bottom of the bowl. And we're going to start making our beautiful sort of teriyaki based sauce. Top tip as well, you can make the teriyaki sauce ahead of time and just have it in your fridge so that when you want to make this recipe, you could just have it already pre-made. You could double or triple it and just have that as a additive-free, beautiful teriyaki sauce for your chicken or fish. So, seems close enough. It says 45 grams, I've got 49. Bit of honey, and I've actually just put a whole lot of those ingredients together already. I just grabbed my spatula out. So in here I have pre-measured the honey, the sweet chili sauce. It says tomato sauce. Tomato sauce is not something we typically buy in our home, so I've just got tomato paste, and mine is the essentials one. So that's all going in. And I love that you're not using any of those additives or sauces that can be quite costly, you know. Love saving $1 or 2. I've got some soy sauce. If you wanted to keep this recipe completely gluten-free, you could use your tamari instead of the soy as well. Some sesame seeds. Right, saying 30 grams. Oh, my timer's just come up. I actually use the timer for baking my chicken. So if you haven't used that function on your machine yet, it works independently of anything you're cooking. So just the little arrow at the very top of your screen, tap that and your timer will come up. So going on with 30 grams of sesame seeds, ish, around that much. And then going to pop the lid. And this time the simmering basket is going to sit on the top there too. Oh, I did put the brown sugar in while I was cheating. In there. So it's going to give that beautiful sticky sauce. Put my simmering basket on top. I'm going to let some of the steam come through as it's cooking and thickening, and it just goes for about 8 minutes now. So again, hands free.
Awesome. Thanks, Lee. That's another firm favourite in our household. And like you, we do switch out the tomato sauce as well. Okay, now the lovely Diane. Sorry about that. Let's try again.
Hi, that's okay, Jess. So I'm tonight making the broccoli salad with red pepper and pine nuts, and this is such a quick, really simple salad, but it does make quite a good quantity. You'll notice if you're making it that your measurements are all in ounces. So it's from an Australian or a Canadian recipe collection. So if you can't find it on your Thermomix or on your cookie dough, check your settings because you might have to change. So I've got English settings on mine for the language, and so it picks up the American and the English recipe. So that's one thing to check. And the other thing with the recipe as well for this one is that it can be scaled up. So I'm just doing the 6 portion size, but on your Thermomix, and sorry you can't see my screen very well, but there's a little section at the side and it will say, do you want to, the serving size. So it's like 6 portions, but it can go down to 4 or it can go up to 8. So another good one for a crowd. So I'm doing the size for 6. So I'm just going to start cooking. And it's just so simple. So it's asking for some broccoli florets here. So 10.5 ounces. I'll just pop all those in there. And I'm going to broccoli, and it's asking for a bell pepper, of course, but of course capsicum. So I throw in some capsicum and just quite big chunks as well. And then an apple, it's like a dessert apple. So I've got a Pink Lady, which is really quite sweet and yummy. You could do a Granny Smith as well, but I find Pink Lady the best for that. So that size. Then we want some pine nuts. If you don't like pine nuts, you could use sesame, sunflower seeds, or maybe another nut, but I think the pine nuts give this one a really lovely flavour. And some olive oil.
It's quite good having those options, isn't it, Diane, for the cheaper seeds and nuts, because pine nuts can be quite expensive.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you only use like just under half a packet, so it's not, I mean, it's not too bad, but yeah, definitely. And then we're adding some, you can use fruit vinegar or white balsamic. So I've got the white balsamic there. Nothing else of that. And then a teaspoon of honey and 1.5 teaspoons of mustard. So I've just got a little, I like the whole grain mustard. So I've got some whole grain mustard there and a teaspoon of honey. And then a teaspoon of salt. And some ground black pepper. And that's it. How quick is that? So on goes the lid. And then 5 seconds on speed 4.
How often would you make this recipe, Diane?
During the summer, quite regularly. It's so quick and easy, and it's really tasty and very colourful, so it looks beautiful. Some of the broccoli's a little big there, so what you can do if you wanted to is just pop it back on. The chopping function on the Thermomix is amazing. Things like the beetroot salad and things like that, just so quick and easy. But remember, you know, you've still got control, so even another second there. Sometimes it's the waiting, it seems to be forever, doesn't it? So look at that, that is just beautiful. So colourful and, you know, really good. You can make it if you're going to a barbecue, make it ahead of time. And, you know, coming into summer when broccoli's a lot cheaper than it is at the moment, but just a great one. So really quick, great to feed a crowd. And as I said, scale the recipe up, make it make more, but that's quite a good amount there.
That's awesome. Thanks, Diane. It's such a great salad. It's a definite favourite in our household too.
Yes.
And, you know, so quick and easy makes it great, doesn't it?
I served along with things like your Mexican stack, even if you wanted to have it, serve it with that, or, you know, goes with anything as well as a barbecue or any meal.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Thanks, Diane. All right, we're going to whip back over to the lovely Darsh's kitchen.
I am with you two ladies. That is an absolutely banging salad. And like at Christmas time, when you have to go to a barbecue, it takes next to no time to make it. And yet it's got the green of the broccoli, the red of the capsicum. And so it really does look super Christmassy. You look as if you're like, you know, all in theme. And yet it's taken you like under 5 minutes. I'm just adding in some salt. I'm not sure. Here we are. Let me just check if I can get that screen up. Hopefully you can see in there. It's all been cooking away. Going to add in our tomato paste. And next, going to pop in our whole can of whole tomatoes. Only 23 left. And then in my dark brown sugar and the beef rump. So I've just got a kilo. So again, like we said before, if you're wondering how much food can you get in a Thermomix, this is a whole kilo. So I've got a whole kilo of beef rump steak that I'm popping in here. Some other great recipes that you can put plenty in, like the beef stroganoff. That's absolutely delicious. And again, you can get a whole kilo in there. And then we're going to pop on some ring basket. That nice chicken curry is another one, several of those. And we're now going to cook it on speed 1 for 13 minutes. And what would you do if you did not have a Thermomix? You'd be standing there stirring it. Not me. I can go and sit down and have a glass of wine and put my feet up and watch the rest of you cooking, because I've got like 13 minutes in which I decide whether I'm going to serve it with mashed potato or rice. Over to you, Jess.
So many options, Dasha. Now, I do apologise. I did miss out your 15-minute cook time there. So, unfortunately, we probably won't have your dish completely finished by the end of class, but we'll take lots of photos for everybody to see. I can just imagine the smells in your kitchen, though, would be just phenomenal at the moment with all those spices. We are just going to whip back over to the lovely Lee Sevy's kitchen, because she's just about finished her sauce, and I can see that she's got her chicken out of the oven. So, we'll jump back over to there. Right, move spotlight, and
You got me?
I think so. Let's see. Kathy, can you see Lee? Yep, perfect. Go for it.
Choice. Alrighty, so I've just taken that chicken out of the oven, so 200 degrees. Gee, I was getting a rice facial, now I'm getting a chicken facial. Lovely and hot and steamy, cooked beautifully with all those flavours, and look how much it's made. Like, that is a lot of chicken. I think this recipe does call for 1.2 kilos of chicken thigh. And then the sauce here, beautiful and thick. Now it's a teriyaki facial, but it smells absolutely divine. I'm going to pour that over the chicken, scrape it all out. If I wasn't on camera and just making this at home, I'd pop that in and throw the turbo on for about 2 seconds and just get all the last bits of that sauce out from under my blades. Great tip there. Anytime you're making sauces or doughs, when you whiz things out, save you kind of fishing underneath your blades, especially things with meat. You can just whiz it out really easily. But I won't worry too much tonight. Just going to incorporate all that beautiful sauce through my chicken. And then I'm just going to lay out all these thermo servers so you can just see the quantities of how much this has made. I'll just grab my phone off my wee tripod there. And you can see there, hopefully, that I've got a huge amount of rice, all that chicken and veggies. And I could have increased those quantities as well. If I was entertaining and had more people joining us, I would probably do the rice cooker mode and do up to 500 grams of rice, because that was 350, which is just enough for us as a family of 5. But you could certainly do that ahead of time, and then do your veggies and your chicken. So that will be my family's dinner tomorrow night, all sorted, which is fabulous. An absolute winner. If you do make it, share some photos, pop it on socials, tag us, send us an email. We'd love to see.
Awesome, thanks, Lee. And Kathy's just said that she makes this with tofu as well, just to sub out chicken for a vegetarian recipe. And I just I had to comment because I missed it before, but the lovely Angeline made a little comment to me that she often trawls back through her calendar to look at things that she's made in cookie dough and pat herself on the back just for fun to see what she's been up to. I was like, I love that. I love to see what people have made, and it's great sort of having that cookie dough there for that. All right, so we're going to whiz over to Kathy's kitchen now and just have a look, and I'll get everyone to get ready to present their dishes. Just going to jump over here. Just remove that one. All right. Okay. Hello. Have I got you there, Kathy? Joan, can you see Kathy on the camera? Or Diane, can you see Kathy on the camera?
Yeah.
Yep, she's there. Beautiful.
So
Cool.
I actually it said to put let it cool in the bowl for 30 minutes. So I actually popped on my timer, like Lee. I love my timer. So easy. It's about 2 minutes. It'll be close enough. I just wanted it to cool down a little bit. So now I'm just going to add in 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. And then that's just going to mix up just for a little bit. For 10 seconds on speed 2.
So Kathy, how would you serve this cordial? So what sort of the ratios and things?
So 1 part cordial and then 3 parts water. So I've got my bottle here. So it's something you could easily just store in the fridge and just bring out when you want. Make a little bit up with the 1 part cordial, 3 parts water. You could choose how much you want to make at a time. So it's really versatile in that aspect of things, which is really great. And I'm just about to pour it in, so you'll get to see how much is actually in there.
Looking forward to seeing the color of it as well, but it's beautiful color.
Yeah, so it's just a mixed berry, but you could totally do any berries you like, raspberries, boysenberries. You could just have one flavor or mix. It's really up to you how you want to. You know, it's the lovely thing about Thermomix is it's a guided recipe. You get to choose how you like to do some of the aspects of things. So there you go. There's our lovely berry cordial.
Beautiful. And you know exactly what's gone into it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is just, yeah, that's one thing I love about my Thermomix. I know what's going into my food and what I'm giving to my children and my family, which is just really great, as well as reducing waste, saving costs. So many things.
Cool. All right. I'm just going to see if we can pop back over to Julia's kitchen now to see how her stack is looking. Julia, are you good to come back in? And I'll get you to come off mute. Well, that's looking beautiful.
Yep, here it is.
Ah, stunning.
I don't know if you can see it. Can you see properly?
Yeah, looks great.
Beautiful. That looks
It
great.
is. The Mexican stack.
Awesome. So is that your dinner tonight or is that tomorrow night?
Oh no, I've got 2 teenagers and a very hangry 9-year-old. They've already had dinner, but I want a second dinner.
Awesome. Cool. All righty.
Looking forward to it.
Beautiful. That looks great. Thank you very much. Okay, team. I'm going to try and grab everyone on and thank you everybody for coming on tonight. If everyone can sort of hold up their dishes for what they've got there. I'm going to grab Lee and